So the Black Cat 3s just dropped, and as far as this release right here, it really sets the tone early for Jordan Brand heading into 2025. You see, last year, there was a lot of talk about Jordan Retros sitting on shelves or not selling out instantly. So as far as this release, what we actually knew prior heading into the release, the early word was that apparently there was supposed to be a lot of stock, plentiful, enough to go around for everybody, a massive general release that everybody was going to be able to feast on, even more than the Black Cement 3s, which just dropped, prior to these. So heading into the release, supposed to be a lot of pairs to go around, but based off the fact that these sold out pretty much everywhere across the board, it proves that when it comes to Jordan releases, sometimes it's not always about exclusivity. Many people felt like Jordan Brand needs to kind of like scale back, drop a lot less pairs of these releases. Sometimes it's not always about the hyped up collaboration, but rather when Jordan Brand drops a popular model with a good colorway, it seems like it sells out every time. So the trends, they change, they come and they go. Some models are more popular than others at different times, but it feels like right now the Jordan 3 is one of those ones, and people definitely showed out for these Black Cat 3s. Now, in celebration of the release, Soul Retriever put together this list asking you guys what are the best all black Air Jordans of all time. And while you have the Jordan 3 Black Cats right at the top of the list, those just dropped. I feel like they would probably top many people's list, but as we run through the different releases, you got the cap and gown Jordan 11s, which when those dropped, that was years after the Gamma Blue 11s released. For me, I have a little more nostalgia for those Gamma Blue 11s, but when it comes to Jordan 11s, OG fanatics do not play about that model right here. And the cool thing is we do have the Gamma Blue 11s, which are going to be releasing coming up this holiday. Now, next up, we got the Jordan 29, which this is one of those Jordan releases that did drop after MJ retired from the game of basketball. And while I feel like people were still checking for numbered Jordan releases, it kind of feels like around like numbers 23, 22, something like that is kind of when people really stop checking for these numbered Jordans, and more so we're looking for the Jordan retro releases. So I feel like when it comes to these 29s, they low-key are kind of giving like creative player 2K vibes, if you guys know what I'm saying. Now, speaking of Jordans that did drop after MJ's playing days, they were numbered and people were still checking for, I feel like these 20s definitely fall into that category, definitely giving off futuristic vibes, and I feel like the all black color scheme works well with this model. Next up, we got the Black 13s, which I want to say these dropped like maybe 2018, something like that, as far as this pair right here. While I'm more of a fan of the Altitude 13s, these are cool. I got more nostalgia for that pair, but this is a cool one nonetheless, which I think when these actually first dropped, nobody was really checking for them like that. But then, of course, years later down the line, once they became more unobtainable, resale value has went up. Now, when it comes to these Jordan 2s, I can't really tell you guys too much about this release. I'm not really sure when this specific pair dropped, but when it comes to Jordan 2s, outside of like the OG Chicago colorway, I'm not really a huge fan, but I would have to say a fan of those off-white Jordan 2 lows that did drop. Salute to Virgil, rest in peace. Now we got the Jordan 1 Black Cat or triple black, whatever you want to call it. When I feel like as far as these Jordan 1s, certain models don't really look great all blacked out. I feel like the 2s fall in that category. Same with these Jordan 1s. For this model specifically, I feel like I need to see a little more color when it comes to showing off the different paneling, the features and everything like that. Now, when it comes to Jordan 4s, the blacked out Black Cat 4s definitely would top many people's list. This one's just a great pair. They retroed them. They sold out. This is one that I think when the Black Cat 4s originally dropped back in the day, they weren't an instant sellout, but over time have became a cult classic, and Jordan 4s are low-key as popular as ever right now. Now, as far as the Jordan 12, I'm not really sure when these drop right here, but as far as Jordan 12s, I feel like people more gravitate to ones with like the OG type of color blocking. You guys know what I'm saying? So not a huge fan. I feel like the 12s don't really look too great all blacked out. Now, as far as these Jordan 10s, this you could consider would be an OG in the shadow. I know this may not be the exact shade of that like ashy black when it comes to the shadows, but I love that OG pair. I remember having a retro pair of those back in the day. You gotta love it. Now for these next pairs, we got the Jordan 33. I believe this is the 34, and then don't quote me on this, but I think the Jordan 32 these are all Jordan releases, which are numbered pairs, which dropped after MJ's playing days, well after, where I feel like people weren't really so much checking for these, more so checking for Jordan Retro. So again, these are gonna fall in like 2K creative player type vibes. But if you guys like them, as I always like to say, I love them. And then we got these Jordan 5s, which I think this is when Jordan Brand was trying to drop these more like premium Jordan Retros. Not a huge fan of this one right here, I would say, when it comes to the Jordan 5s. You know, the Jordan 5 metallics, the black metallics are so iconic that I'm just accustomed to those and really can't go for this all blacked out version. And then you got the Jordan 2009. Again, this is one of those creative player type of vibes right here. So out of the entire list, I would love to know what you guys feel like are the best black cat Jordan or all black Jordan of all time. I think they all also are missing a couple of pairs. Like, we know they did drop a black cat 6. There's probably some others that I can't really think of right now. And while I feel like out of all these pairs, the ones that would probably top most people's list would be the Jordan 3s, the Jordan 4s. Low key, I also got to throw in those cap and gowns. People got a lot of love for that Jordan 11 right there. But as far as my personal favorite, I feel like we would have to go with the Jordan 20s right here. And I would say definitely we're in need of a retro for one of those. Now, in other Jordan Brand news, we do have an update on the upcoming Nigel Sylvester 4s, which over the weekend he pulled up in these New York City streets with this truck, big ass brick in the back, as he's looking to build the hype for his upcoming release, which apparently these 4s, the early word, they're supposed to be dropping coming up late March. Now, when it comes to Nigel Sylvester and his relationship with Jordan Brand, in 2018, they did drop the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1s. And then last year, he definitely proved himself with the release of the Bike Air Jordan 4 RM. So it seems like this year, Jordan Brand is giving this brother the green light right here, and he's poised to have a huge 2025. So as far as his activation in New York City, some noteworthy things to mention. He didn't actually pull up wearing the sneakers, but actually rocking an OG pair of Jordan 4 bread. So you gotta love that. And it looks like as far as the teaser for this sneaker, they're taking their time with it. Although the shoe did leak to some kind of mixed reactions, we haven't actually got the official look from Jordan Brand or Nigel himself. So at this event, the sneakers weren't present. They weren't giving away shoes or anything. They weren't selling sneakers or anything like that, but rather just passing out t-shirts, getting everybody excited. Nigel's out here with the people, shaking hands and everything like that. So you gotta love it. And I would definitely say Jordan Brand and Nigel Sylvester, he's gotta be one of their top brand ambassadors right there, you know, right after Travis Scott and of course the man MJ himself. So as far as this drop right here, they're kind of taking things into a different realm with this firewood orange colorway, according to Nigel Sylvester himself, who took to Instagram to let us all know that his next Bike Air collaboration with Jordan Brand is titled Brick by Brick. So they created this 13-foot replica brick right here, hit the New York City streets, and he said he appreciates everybody who came out. Love is love. And he said he needs 1,000 comments and he might drop a little official image of the sneaker. And as I'm recording this, we got about 800 comments on Instagram. So make sure you guys jump on there, show Nigel some love. That way we can begin the rollout for this sneaker, which as far as this drop, slated for late March. Let me know, are you guys rocking with these? It seems like people kind of have a mixed reaction for these, but my guess is that once the storytelling and everything comes together, once we get a little closer to the release, a lot more people should be on board. All right, so let's go ahead and see what you guys are talking about. Now, I put up this poll via my community tab. I simply asked the audience, did you grab a pair of Black Cat 3s? Now, we had roughly about 2.2 thousand votes. I posted this about 20 hours ago. So we got a decent pool, a good selection to kind of gauge the audience reaction as far as this release. So it looks like as far as the majority of you guys, 74% of you guys said no, but 21% of you guys did say that you did grab these pairs, while we got 4% say that they're still looking for a pair. Now, I know these pretty much are sold out all across the board online. If you do head into your local shop, you know, you may find a few sizes sitting around here or there. There may be some people who like canceled or maybe returned your pairs like that, but for the most part, Jordan Brand moved a huge quantity of this release. But if you are still looking for a pair, I do know for a fact Amon has a full size run available right now. Just a warning though, when shopping with them, you know, sometimes shipping can be a little bit delayed. So just a little warning before grabbing them from there. But it looks like right now Amon has a full size run of these Jordan 3 Black Cats. A great release, set the tone early for Jordan Brand heading into 2025. So let's see what some of you guys were talking about. Shout out to Matthew Lopez. He put saving for the Black Cat or black metallic 5s and red 1s instead, which both of those pairs are actually scheduled to drop coming up next month. So I understand, February is right around the corner. Jordan Brand has a stock lineup, leading into All-Star Weekend. So can't knock you for that, my brother. Somebody put in response to that, this might be the first comment I've seen in the last 6 months listing what they're getting in 2025 and not including the white cements. LOL. Black metallic 5s are an absolute must cop. Most def. Black metallic 5s are probably like at the top of my list of Jordan retros, which are scheduled to drop this year. He replied, talking about I'm planning on getting the white cements too. I just didn't say it because it's later in the year. Those 3s are a must cop, most definitely. Now, Ohio 1986, they put, I'm being very picky this year. I hit on Black Cats, but canceled my order. So I feel you, bro. He had good luck. He hit the got him screen, but then I guess, after getting luck on that drop, felt like maybe he wasn't rocking with him that much. We know there's so many great pairs set to drop. So I guess you could kind of hold back as there's so many great pairs dropping. Somebody replied saying, why did you even go for them if you didn't want them? Laugh my ass off. But at the end of the day, bro, can do whatever he wants. Somebody put probably changed his mind. And then he did reply saying people are allowed to change their minds. That's why Nike has the cancel option. Laugh my ass off, man. You gotta love sneakerheads being petty like that. Now, sneakerhead guy 23, he put, I grabbed them, just pissed my local JD Sports in the Bronx. Won't let me use my $20 off coupon on Jordan releases, but I've seen others in other JD Sports able to use it. Shake my head. What's wrong with y'all in the Bronx being tight like that, man? Y'all gotta let my guy get that little $20 discount. I'm sure he's probably been shopping with y'all for years now. So show some love. Stop being so petty. Somebody else put, really wanted them, but put the money into renovating my house instead. Man, it's hard to say no to nice J's. I feel that, but that's a respectable decision, holding back, having some reserve. You got to have your priorities in check. Now, somebody also put doubled up on these. That's also interesting because as far as this pair, again, maybe not an OG, but definitely a classic release, a fan favorite over the years. So do you guys feel like this pair was double up worthy? I mean, my dude right here said they most definitely are. Somebody put hard to pass, but I put my money towards debt I'm trying to pay down. Again, respectful. You got to respect that right there. Now, Dylan P, 9211, he put past being more picky this year as well. Was going to get them, but opted for another pair that's $100 cheaper. It's a collab. Also, better materials. Anyway, honestly, just got to be smarter with your money this year. I can get 2 pairs for 1 pair of Jordans or 1 pair of shoes and a nice pair of pants or a hoodie or something. I got the triple black SBs last far anyway. So, respect, bro. Yeah, definitely giving us the little play-by-play of what's going on through his thought process, but I would definitely be curious to know which collaborative pair he got. Was it the Who Decides War Jordan Flights, maybe something like that? I'm not really sure. Now, Michael Patman, 2575, he said, yes, sir, got the last pair in my size. Salute. As I mentioned, if you pull up to your local shop, they may have just a few sizes left over or some returns. Sounds like that maybe was the case for bro right there. Now, somebody else, Top Spot, 4834, they put too much incoming heat. These would be like the 25th on the list, which I feel you, but 25th on the list? That's kind of crazy. Are you disrespecting? Is he disrespecting low-key these Jordan 3 Black Cats? I would say, who knows? But then somebody also put, I got a long list. I want this year before I sit down. Black Cat 3s are only the beginning. See? There you go, Bruce. Don 83 said that. Now, I didn't even want them shits, were nasty. All right, so we got the first negative comment. It seems like a few people weren't really rocking with these, but for the most part, it seemed like everybody was really loving these. Waiting for the Black Cat 4s. My friend got these. All right, bro, I guess you're going to be waiting for a while because I don't think them Black Cat 4s are dropping until the holiday. Now, Prison Mike said they're too shiny for him. Tyler said he got a few pairs, size 10.5 if anybody needs a pair. Tyler, are you a reseller or are you looking to bless people for retail? And then my man said I caught for my brother-in-law. So salute, man. While it looks like most of you guys didn't grab these, we got a couple of people still looking to grab a pair, and then a decent chunk of you guys did pick up your pair. So I want to know, did anybody double up on these, and are you holding out, maybe looking to grab these for a steal? Because it looks like, as far as the resale market right now, There's not any crazy resale value on this shoe. It seems like Jordan Brand really did this one right. They dropped just enough pairs, but it seems like there's not enough room for resellers to really profit. But you already know there's still going to be resellers that are buying these up. They're going to be sitting on them, as they like to call, like they're in it for the hold or whatever. So let me know, did you guys grab the Black Cat 3s? Did you pass on them? Is there too much heat dropping this year? Drop your feedback down below. JA, just want to check in with you guys real quick for this release. Jordan Brand setting the standard very strong early here in 2025. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. Love.